Hey, welcome. This week's project is going to be a pretty simple one. I've got this old, I believe you pronounce it Owatonna, half-inch drive ratchet that is just in really bad shape. And we're going to see if we can get it cleaned up and in good working order. Well, this should be a relatively easy project, fairly quick. But this is a made in USA. It's a H163A Owatonna Tools Company half-inch drive ratchet. And it's just really dirty. It does work. It spins no problem. But let's get it apart and see what's inside. We're missing a screw here, so we'll have to probably put 2 brand new screws in. This looks like a painting style ratchet head. Looks a lot like some of the Protos and the Fleet and a few other brands. I want to make sure. So it's got the 2 paws held in by 2 springs. And you can just see how much old grease and stuff's packed up in there. There's the cover plate. See a lot of grease in there. And then the gear mechanism, short of just having a ton of dirt and grease on it. Teeth look like they're in good shape. Well, there's just tons of grease on there. Look at that. So these are pretty simple. I'm not going to take this switch off. I don't think I need to. And unfortunately, my ultrasonic cleaner is down. Something's wrong with it. It won't turn on. So I'm going to be doing this one by hand. It's almost a ridiculous amount of grease in here. So this design, these paws have got a little post here that will come through these holes here in the back. I mean, look at that. This is a cup of the Zep purple stuff degreaser made up. I'm going to put the small parts down in here, and I'm going to let those soak for a little while. I'm going to hold off on the screw because I don't think I'm going to reuse this screw. The head on it's messed up pretty good. I believe it's number 832. Come out pretty clean. That's looking pretty good. A little bit of rust here. Okay, that's already looking better. Main thing I want to do is get as much grease off as I can before I take it to the next step, which part of the reason why I want to do this video is because I've got something new to try out here in the shop. And I'm going to blow this out with the air gun before I do anything else. Okay, a lot of us follow the same people, and 357 Magdad's been using these conditioning belts for a long time, and I never got any because I have a 1x42 sander, and most of the other guys have a 1x30. Well, Magdad actually found me some 1x42, sent me a link. I've ordered them, and this will be my first project on them. So let me get my camera set up to where it will actually focus here. All right, that thing's doing a great job. Can't believe I've lived in my shop this long without those. I have the conditioning pads for my die grinder, but sure makes a quick, easy work out of it here on the belt sander. So I'm going to go down to the coarse pad to get a little more of this out here, and then I'll go back to medium, and then I'll hit it with the fine. All right, I'm real happy with this. These conditioning belts are awesome. I'm going to put the medium back on and run over that, and I'll bring it back when I'm doing the fine. I didn't get all of the dings out where somebody used this thing as a hammer. I don't want to take it down that far. Okay, now that we got the ratchet head done, we can get back on the other parts. And we have both screws, faceplate, the gear assembly, and the two paws. I'll wipe as much grease off of these as I can, put them in a pair of vice grips, and take them to the wire wheel. I'm not going to polish this up. I think I'm going to blue it just to give it some contrast on the ratchet head face. I'm going to take these to the wire wheel. I don't think I'm going to drag the camera over there. You've seen enough of that on this video, but I'll be right back. The next thing is, like I said, I want to put some gun bluing on this. I just ran this across the wire wheel to get it clean. And I'm going to use this G96 gun bluing, which actually was another recommendation a long time ago from Magdad. I like it because it leaves a darker finish. And with this G96, you got to neutralize it in water just for a second or two. I got the gun bluing on. I'm going to burnish it a little bit with some steel wool and see if it needs another coat. All right, let's get it put back together. All right, so that's the original screw that came out. It's a number 832. I've got one that's 3/4 of an inch long, and I've got one that's 1/2 inch too long. So this one's too short, this one's too long. I just matched these up, colored the bottom with a Sharpie, and I'm going to put that in here up until I cover up the Sharpie. And that way I can put my hacksaw right up on here. So I just get the spring down in there, then I'll push this over with my thumb and hold it tight. Turn the switch, let it go easily, and it holds the spring in pretty good. I'll get this side done. A lot of times I can get these in with my fingers, but sometimes I have to use tweezers. All right, now I don't put grease in these. I'll just oil it up. So I'll put some oil here, all around that mechanism, down here on the bottom, so where the paws slide across, they get plenty of lubrication. God, this stuff is flying out of here. It's all right. You can always wipe it off. Well, there it is. It's done. So, Owatonna Tool Company. Y'all forgive me. I'm trying something new. I got a new mount and a new camera, so I'm trying to get things where I can focus them a little better for you. There you go. Owatonna Tool Company. Cleaned up really nice. It works great. It wouldn't be a daily user, though, just because it's still kind of sloppy. I guess it's just worn out. This thing really got some use in its life, which is good. Tool should. The knurling didn't come out so great. The rest of the polish did. It's got my oily fingers all over it, but yeah, I thought it came out good. It looks good, and it'll work. Hey, thanks for hanging out in the shop with me today while I did this little project. This is an Owatonna 1/2-inch drive ratchet that was filthy dirty, and I mean full of grease. I think it came out really nice. The big reason why I wanted to do a little project like this was to test out my new conditioning belts. These, of course, came as a recommendation from 357 Magdad, and he helped me find the ones that fit my 42-inch belt sander. I love these things. These are my new go-to tool because this finish on these old tools is perfect. I don't need to do anything much more than this. So thanks again, 357 Magdad. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.